welcome to my first ever YouTube video. In this video, I'm going to be taking part in my first ever triathlon, so I thought I would document the process just for a bit of a laugh, and maybe this could be used as material to show at my funeral for when I don't survive the swim part of the race. Either way, I'll show you what I'm going to do in my day. Out on a dog walk at the minute, so I need to get back to work because I can't escape the 9 to 5 right now. As you can tell by the subscriber count, I'm not making any money from this. Yeah, I'll bring you along for the journey, show you what I'm going to do in my day. I'll show you all the things I'm going to eat, all the kit I've got prepped, ready for the day, just in case anyone seeing this wants to take part in one. Like I said, this is my first ever one, so I'm no expert. I'm going to wing it, see how it goes. This is Rocco, by the way, big part of the channel. Aren't you, mate? Go back. He loves it. I don't know if it's worth mentioning, but a bit of a humble brag. Earlier this year, I ran Brighton Marathon in a time of 3:52. I've recently got my 5k time down to 20:15. Ran a 10k of something in the 44-minute region, and my half marathon time also came down earlier this year. I did it in like 1:42, so I would say I'm a slightly above average runner. Been getting into my running recently. I really enjoy watching these kind of videos that people make themselves online of doing triathlons, Ironmans and stuff. Like, I think the dream is one day to maybe do an Ironman, so I thought I'd produce the content that I enjoy watching. So yeah, nearly back home now, as I said, on a dog walk. Nearly back home. I'll show you what I'm gonna have for breakfast. Okay, checking for the first meal. Time is 10:30, I'm gonna have my breakfast. Don't really want to change anything on race day. Have things that agree with your stomach without the whole day. So I've had this meal pretty much before every race, and it's my breakfast for most of the days, to be honest, because it keeps you full. Plenty amount of carbs, fats, healthy proteins in there. The meal in question: cheese and ham omelette, Marmite bagel. Can't go wrong. The application of Marmite and ratio of Marmite to bagel there is shocking. I was really scraping the bottom of the jar, but I'm gonna eat this, enjoy this, check in for my next meal at lunchtime, and I'll do a kit review. So I'll eat this. See you then. Triathlon haul time. I'm just going to show you all the kit that I've got. This is quite good for peace of mind to make sure I've checked everything off the list, but I'll show you what I'm running with. Swimming and cycling. The tri-suit is from Amazon. It is sleeveless. It was about £35, and I do not want to pay any more than that for my first one. Then into the wetsuit again, another Amazon job. Will I sink? Will I float? Who knows? Maybe just take up some water sports in the meantime. Race belt, need that for the bike and the run. Some gels. These are the gels that I've used for every single race, marathon prep. It sits quite well on my stomach, so no time to experiment now. Clipping shoes, recently switched to these for my bike, which makes life a bit easier. Then Oakley's, obviously mandatory helmet. Oakley's, that's the colour of the sky right now, so maybe we won't be needing them. And then the Adi Zero Pro 3s. These are like carbon plated shoes which I've done all my races in, and I recommend these shoes a lot. These have been with me for every 5k, 10k, half and Brighton Marathon, so lots of PBs in these. Stood the test of time. Hopefully they can do a good job today. This is the bike of choice, the Carrera, £150 off Halfords. You can't go wrong. I changed the pedals, as I said, to clip-in shoes. Still getting used to that. No better time than in the middle of a triathlon. Also, I realised I haven't said how far this triathlon is and the distance is. It's a sprint triathlon, so 750 metre swim, 20k bike and a 5k run. The idea is that you sprint it. I'm not sure how much I will be sprinting. I'll probably be trying to not combust as I do this, but we'll give it a go, and hopefully it's quite fun to watch. Anyway, time is 1:30, so it's time for lunch. I'm going to show you what my pasta party looks like. Pasta party was cancelled. Fish cake, rice and peas. Does look like cat food, but that'll do the job. Right, made it to Dorney. Everything kitted out in the back. Had to drive like a granny to fit the bike in, but yeah, let's give it a bash, full send. Go pick up my number, sort my stuff out. Not too sure when the next time I pick up the cameras, because you're not allowed your phone in transition. Hopefully there's some race footage. See you on the other side. Wow, great swim footage, mate. We can clearly pick you out of that crowd and we know which one's you. To be honest, I'm glad you can't, because 50 metres in, my goggles broke, they just pinged off my head, and then I suffered some sort of panic attack, which wasn't great. I'll talk about it later in the video and go into a bit more detail. But let's move on to the bike with some cheery music. Right, I'm back 1 week later, post triathlon. I've done a post race analysis or anything, or recap, so that's what this part of the video is. Also, I'm back out with the boy. Get my hand out of the way. Oh, let me pick that up 1 sec. Right, now that's out of the way. Carry on with the post race recap. Also, I've just been for a run, whacked on a jumper, hence the top 5 most washed trims. I'm rocking one right now, but we'll start with the swim. The swim didn't go very well. Did it in 25.5 minutes. In training, I was getting it done in like 17, 18, something like that, and felt pretty good about it. 50 meters in, my goggles broke. Then I proceeded to have some sort of like panic attack because my wetsuit was a bit rubbish. I couldn't move my arms and my heart rate was just a joke. And I think I found a bit overwhelming with like everyone's swimming over you, like basically getting beaten up in the water, which wasn't ideal. And I was kind of freaked out a little bit. It sounds like a bit of a wuss thing to say, but I think I had like some sort of panic attack, which obviously isn't what you want in open water and at the first stage of a triathlon. So yeah, not great, but managed to get round, so that was the main thing. We got onto the bike. On the bike, I was just kind of sulking the whole time because I felt like I'd wasted my time. Everyone else's time got messed up on the swim. Just thought, what's the point really? But then at Dorney, it's 4 laps, I think on about lap 2, kind of had a word with myself. I was like, come on, sort it out, put your foot down, try and run, try and race. But I was getting overtaken so much. Some people on some insane bikes, and people that look like they're not even good cyclists were flying past me. I mean, I'm not a good cyclist. The swim and the bike are definitely the worst part of the two, or the worst 2 of the 3 of triathlon for me. But the people that were flying past me, it was just depressing because I knew I was so far back, and having people just cycle past you, they were probably like a lap ahead of me anyway, or 2 laps ahead of me at that time. It was really upsetting. But again, made it through the bike bit, got to the run. When I got through the bike bit into the transition area, there were so many bikes, and I knew I was probably one of the last people to start the run, which was quite funny. So I should also say, I think the bike took me something like 42 minutes or something, which is all right. I wanted to do it in under 45 actually, so I actually hit the goal for my bike. So even though it felt depressing at the time, looking back on it, I actually did all right for what I set myself in terms of splits and goals. And then on the run, I was actually really happy with the run, more happy than I expected. I did it in 22.5, considering everything that had gone on for the day and how fresh I wasn't feeling. I was pretty happy with it, managed to close quite strongly, held like a 4:25 pace for the last 3 kilometers. First kilometer felt really wobbly, but then just kind of picked up a little bit towards the end. So yeah, overall it took me an hour and a half. I put a time up my splits and everything that I got, and like where I came. All things considered, not too bad for my first triathlon. Definitely want to improve the swim leg for sure. Gonna probably practice some open water swimming before I do another one, just to get used to it. Yeah, I'm not too sure when my next event is actually. I'm doing Battersea Half in October, but before then I haven't got anything lined up, so we'll see. Not too sure when the next video will be either, whenever I think of something to write about or post about. But until then, see you next time, take care, and look after yourselves.